The Denver Nuggets are right where they want to be with 21 games left in the season, tied with OKC for the second best record in the West at 42-19 as of this recording. They've lost just 5 games at home so far and are currently on a 6-game win streak. They're 8th in offensive rating, which may seem shocking to those hoping to hear top 5, but they have a 117.4 offensive rating, which would have put them second behind the Sacramento Kings last season, who set a league record 118.6, which right now would place them 6th. That's an offensive boom. They're also 9th in defensive rating, so the team is in great position to go for a repeat. Their starting lineup consists of the well-known great combination of Jokic and Murray's impeccable two-man game, with Jokic scanning for all possible options and Murray challenging the defense on and off the ball. They have rim pressure with Aaron Gordon lurking in the dunker spot whenever he's not spaced out for possible catch and shoots. They have a 2-time champ, two-way sharpshooter in KCP, and then there's a not-so-secret weapon itching to get back to the big stage to prove he can perform there in Michael Porter Jr. The finals was a series to forget for him outside of the fact that they won it, and that's because of how poorly he played, which I'll get into in a little bit. But with how great of a team this is, they were able to get it done despite that, and this is something teams should be afraid of, because I'm convinced when Michael Porter Jr. is at his best, this team is unstoppable. When I think of Michael Porter Jr., the first thing that comes to mind is a roller coaster. The MPJ experience is one that truly takes you up and down, a guy that doesn't really see a shot he can't make, oozing with supreme confidence, and this, in my opinion, is his biggest strength, because this sort of shoot first, ask questions last approach really keeps opposing defenses on their toes, because he's always shot ready, no matter what. To go back for a sec to his NBA Finals performance, it was just really bad shooting for him, but he still made some impactful plays and rebounded well against an undersized Miami Heat team that makes you earn everything. And they already had their hands full with Aaron Gordon backing guys down like a game in the park, let alone dealing with Jokic and Murray. The Nuggets are a team with beautiful spacing and motion, with Jokic making his calculations in real time. But every now and then, there comes a time where a team needs someone to take a grenade. For those not familiar with the term, here's what a grenade is.
Basketball, I'm like,
But I feel like you get grenades too. You know
I
what
get a lot
grenades
of
are?
grenades.
Yeah.
I get a lot of grenades.
Yeah. Grenades for anybody is when there's like 5 or 6 seconds on the shot clock and the ball is in love Royce O'Neal. The ball's in Royce O'Neal's hands and Royce is like, you know what? Cam has a better chance to create a good shot right here. I'm going to throw it to him with 4 seconds.
I get a lot of grenades.
Michael Porter Jr. is the Captain America of taking grenades on this team. He doesn't have a care in the world what the situation is. If a shot needs to go up, he's more than happy to take it, and this is a team with 2 guys who are already very comfortable in those scenarios in Jokic and Murray. I can't forget about KCP, but Michael Porter Jr. is right there with them in comfort level, taking any shot available. There's a lot of players that are comfortable shooting any shot, but the real importance here is the fact that while he is streaky, he does a great job of creating shots for himself under difficult circumstances, as well as making defenses pay if they do leave him open. He's sitting at 39.6% from 3, which is almost where he finished last season, but the real improvement has been in the mid-range so far. A big jump from 42.4% to 52.7%. 15.4% of his points are now coming from the mid-range versus 9.8% last season. He's also seen a decent increase in percentage of his points coming from 2-pointers, up from 38.9% last season to 43.7% at the moment, and the eye test tells me he's been thinking more about the next possible option compared to last season where he just chucked up shots on the catch. And while he's still the type of player to not hesitate on his shots, it does seem like he's challenging closeouts a bit more nowadays, which honestly is great for reducing the amount of crazy attempts that Nuggets fans stressfully lived with more often last season. Catching the ball and pump faking on hard closeouts gives him a great chance to just put the ball down and force defenses to either come over to help or allow a nice free look in the mid-range. Now, if defenses do come over to help after he beats the closeout, he's been making the extra pass for better offense, and while that pass won't often lead to an assist for himself, it does keep defenders guessing on whether to close out hard or close out with more caution. And it does look like he's doing a much better job of reading those situations. And although he still has his moments as the black hole in the offense, it definitely feels like he's more conscious of that now, which I'm sure Nuggets fans can appreciate. Still though, the Nuggets let him rock within his own semi-controlled chaos, which Michael Malone knows is something that comes with the Michael Porter Jr. experience. With a 30 games played minimum filter, he's 7th in off-ball screen possessions in the league, he's 4th in points on spot-ups at 6.2 points, and here's some on-off-court numbers for the Denver Nuggets on offense. When Michael Porter Jr. is on the floor, they have a 120 offensive rating, and when he's off the floor, their offensive rating drops to 108.1. With good mobility for his size at 6'10", MPJ is a difference maker for the Nuggets, despite games he's not shooting well in, because he could also just put the ball down to get to the rim with enough quickness and more than enough size to get a good look. He gets blocks here and there, along with a nice 7.1 rebounds a game, which is a nice jump from last season. And even though the Nuggets are not a fast-paced team, he does add the possibility of pushing the ball when he does come down with some boards. The Nuggets are 9th in rebounding, and Michael Porter Jr. is their 2nd best rebounder. He's currently their 3rd best three-point shooter at 39.6 in the starting lineup, and he also has the 3rd best field goal percentage in the starting lineup. Not bad for a guy that was told he'd likely never play basketball again before the draft went down.
Meanwhile, I'm hurting, so the Clippers doctor was the one who and I don't really hold a grudge, but I know who it was. The Clippers doctor is the one that wrote up the report, once they all analyzed me. It was like, he'll probably never play again. Like, that's how bad my back was. Yeah, so then I don't even know how my agent really finessed it to where a team was willing to take a chance on me. Mm-hmm. After reading that report that the doctor read, I think the Nuggets were just like, man, his upside is pretty high. Even if we got to deal with the injury, let's try to at least figure it out.
A word I think of when I think about Michael Porter Jr. is resilience. Michael Porter Jr.'s had 3 back surgeries, and maybe some people might not know this, but he actually plays with a special brace on his left leg to help combat foot drop. Not going to get into the medical details, but basically it's a byproduct of his back surgeries. So yeah, resilience. Might not have a great long career, but he's a damn good player and a difference maker on a championship team, which is the kind of guy that you hope to get at the very least with the 14th pick in the draft. So is he the most important player on the Nuggets? Not exactly, but with how consistently great Jokic is, and having that Serbian gravity on the court, there's Aaron Gordon with his own attention-grabbing existence, Jamal Murray is someone defenses have to keep a body on at all times, as with KCP's sharpshooting threat to add to this, and after all of these problems an opposing defense worries about simultaneously, there's a very possible offensive explosion from Michael Porter Jr. that basically makes your chances of beating them nearly impossible. Thanks for watching this video. This is the All Things Basketball podcast. I'm your host, Vic Lopez, as always, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.